belting out lines from a new song, Stephen Cochran wants to reach a certain audience above all others.
I've literally lost more friends to suicide than combat.
Before he was a professional singer-songwriter, Stephen was a Marine.
I remember sitting in my fraternity house, a fraternity in college, and watching the towers fall and saying, tomorrow I'm going to join the Marine Corps.
Putting patriotism before his rock star dream, Stephen would find himself at the tip of the spear during the invasion of Iraq. His Marine unit made history throughout that campaign.
Nasiriyah is still listed as the longest sustained combat since Vietnam. It was 13 hours, and it was called the Battle of the Coil because they attacked us that night. This is heavy combat, and we lost no men. 111 missions through Iraq, we lost no men. We're the only special operations capable unit that fought in Iraq that can say that.
In his early 20s, Stephen says he felt invincible, and then he and his Marine brothers deployed to Afghanistan, a tour that marked both his body and soul.
The first Marine that was killed in Afghanistan, actually the Helmand province, was Corporal Ron Payne. And there's only about 11 of these tattoos. I think that losing Ron made us all have a quick reevaluation that we're not Superman.
Stephen's brush with death would follow. On patrol, he was thrown from atop an assault vehicle when it crashed into a hidden hole along an Afghan road.
Threw me off the vehicle onto the bustle rack, which then broke my SAPI plate and my back from L1 to L5. I would love to tell you what happened next, but I don't remember a lot.
He does remember waking up 1 month later in a Maryland hospital, paralyzed from the waist down.
I have vague memories of the day that the doctor told me I'd never walk again.
He lobbied for an experimental surgery and endured a rough 6 months of physical therapy.
It was one of the most painful things, even as a Marine, that I'd ever been through. Sit, sit.
Helping him through the physical and mental stress was his service dog, Semper, named after the Marine motto, Semper Fidelis, always faithful. Semper pulled this battle-tested Marine through dark days, including the moment, Stephen says, he had a gun in hand, ready to end his pain.
And I credit her with giving me the moments, the few moments to realize I didn't believe in suicide in combat. How do I believe in it now?
He turned back to songwriting to heal his emotional wounds. The fact that 214 veterans in Tennessee took their own lives in 2013 pushed him back to the studio with new songs meant to reach other veterans who are struggling.
But I missed one. I missed the closest one. Matt Harder, who went in the SEAL program, killed himself last February, and he lived a mile from here.
Matt was one of Stephen's closest buddies growing up, and the two chose similar paths.
We had SEALs that he served with that came and talked at the funeral. Nobody can understand this. Booze and whiskey on the ground.
Understanding, sympathy, and help. That's what Stephen is hoping to bring his fellow veterans as his singing career takes on new meaning. And every time he steps on stage, his military brothers aren't far from his heart. Their signatures now wrap around his sixth string.